and gentlemen,
Presenting
Rolling.
This morning, Roland's in Nashville, is it, Roland?
Nashville, absolutely. Yesterday, of course, I left NBA All-Star game and had a speech here in Nashville talking to the Reach Educational Solutions Group. So I had a great time with the educators last night. My wife, of course, enjoyed NBA All-Star Sunday, but I had to get out of town. But while I was there, I did look for a few more TV movie roles that we could put the Tom Joyner, Mike Flagg, and banner in L.A. So I'll let y'all know how that went.
You did good, man. You did good.
Hey, good.
You represented
good
well on the quad. Thank you.
I tell them, I said, y'all know it's going to be some ad-libbing. Y'all know that's going to happen. So I don't quite read everything in the script. But it was good. It was good. So I had a good time out there in L.A. And I'll be hanging with actress Anjanou Ellis tomorrow, speaking at NYU tomorrow on a panel there. So look forward to being with her. Let's talk about sports. Of course, NBA All-Star Game was yesterday. So many people obviously watched us. Team LeBron versus Team Stephen Curry. But there was so much conversation in Los Angeles about Lauren Ingraham of Fox News blasting LeBron James, saying just shut up and dribble the basketball, which is quite interesting because you always have these same folks like her who want to tell black athletes you should be doing this for your community, but then when all of a sudden they speak up, hey, you running your mouth too much because you dare criticize the orange one. Joining us right now is sports journalist as well as Professor Kevin Blackistone, University of Maryland. Kevin, how you doing?
Great. How about you?
It was great, man. Doing good. It was so great watching the news conference. The shade that LeBron was throwing. He was like, "What's her name?" The woman, I don't even know her name. Then he would say the woman at that network. I mean, he was just throwing so much shade and thanked her for criticizing him, saying she has broadened his platform.
Yeah, the unfortunate part is that any attention was paid to Lauren Ingraham at all during NBA All-Star Weekend, and that she wiggled her way into the coverage of the event. But, it was also completely disingenuous of her. As I pointed out in the tweet back in 2008 when Joe the Plumber was all the rage, the white guy who criticized President Obama, she invited him on her talk show and then volunteered her public relations services to him if he would run for office. So there was no stick to the pipes for Joe the Plumber. But you're absolutely right. When there's an audacity of melanin in the public sphere, then people like Lauren Ingraham are going to try and exercise the ultimate in white privilege and tell black folks how they should behave.
Kevin and
Chris,
how did it even come up for her to say something like that?
I think that LeBron and Kevin Durant have been quoted criticizing Trump, and that Fox Network, of course, picked up on it, and then she, in the middle of one of her shows, or maybe at the top of it, opened up with a harangue against LeBron James and Kevin Durant and came up with the shut up and just dribble quote.
And the thing that is interesting about this, again, you are seeing more and more athletes recognizing their power. LeBron talked about speaking with Kevin Durant on a platform that he launched, saying, look, I did it that way. My stuff didn't get edited. It was clear in terms of what we wanted to talk about. I mean, these guys are not the black athlete of 20, 30 years ago. Now, granted, some will say they're not the black athlete of 30, 40 years ago, but you're seeing these guys really use their platforms to address the issues they care about, and that ticks off white conservatives like Lauren Ingraham.
Sure. I mean, well, the interesting thing about sports as a platform when it comes to protests is that it is so large and such a part of the media that no one can not pay attention to it. And then secondly, one of the most interesting things we saw with Colin Kaepernick is that when someone does use sports as a backdrop or as a platform for protest, it can certainly turn people off, right? But the interesting thing is is that it can develop allies for you too. And so what we saw in Colin Kaepernick was the hashtag Veterans for Kaepernick, which nobody saw coming. And so when athletes do this today, people come to their side, although, I'm still a little bit hesitant, to start building statues for this guy, because as I try to remind people this month, it was just 50 years ago in Orangeburg, South Carolina, where Sam Hammond and some other football players were involved in the protest on the segregated bowling alley down there. And Sam Hammond, the football player, was one of the first people to die when the all-white state troopers down there fired on black protesting students. So, there is protest and there is speaking out. And right now we've got some folks speaking out.
And if I'm not mistaken, she did not tell Lindsey Vonn to shut up and ski.
No, she didn't tell Lindsey Vonn to shut up and ski. She didn't tell Steve Kerr or Greg Popovich to shut up and coach.
Right.
This was clearly an attack, as I said, on the audacity of race. This was not an attack on mere audacity.
And then, of course, I love how Chris Long fired back.
Oh, my gosh.
All of the entertainers who they book on Fox News to talk issues. He's like, are you going to tell any of them they don't have a right to speak out?
Exactly. And this is a lesson for all of us. Speak out. It doesn't matter what your occupation, vocation, profession, your station in life is.
Tell them, Kevin.
And what do you think about her invitation to come on her show?
Please turn it down. Do not give her any more attention than she deserves.
Thank you.
No. LeBron almost had a triple-double last night. Bron, pass me the ball. Let me go holler at Law.
You gonna be his stand-in, huh?
She ain't gonna never call this black man.
Go get him, Roland. Go get him.
Keep up the great work, Kevin Blackistone.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you all.